Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Dragon Dialogue. I'm New Palestine Athletic Director Al Cooper. Alongside me here today is Assistant Athletic Director Mr. Jeff Wright. Last show of the year, 2021-22. Lots to cover with the spring sports and some news here shortly. But anyway, talking about girls track. We'll start with girls track. It's an outstanding season. Third place in the sectional, Hancock County HHC champs. Big growth on that team this particular season. Talk about some of the key stars for this girls track team, Jeff.
Sure, and this year they've had a lot of them. I think we need to start with the two that have just qualified for the state meet.
Yep.
So congratulations to Quinn Lumley and Sydney Miller. Look at their accomplishments this year. Both of them county champions, both of them Hoosier Heritage Conference champions, both of them sectional champions, both of them moving onto the state meet. Last night at Franklin Community, we had the regional. Great night for that. Quinn, who recently set the school record of 43.8 in the sectional, great time to do that. Comes up with a 41.7.5 last night. She advances on her score, standard score. And then Sydney in the discus advanced in the sectional through 131.8 last night. Very respectable 129.11 to finish third, and also make it to Bloomington next week. Had some others that ran as well last night in the 400. The HHC champion Riley Hurst, who is a freshman.
Yep.
She ran in the 100 and the 400, finished 6th and 5th, so very respectable. Great season for her. We also had Courtney Studi ran in the 1600. Tyler Whitaker qualified, but due to injury could not run. Courtney ran well with 4x8 team. Lexi Baines, Emily Adam, Ashlyn Sanford, Courtney Studi, and a 4x4 team of Baines, Maya Hobbs, Whitaker, and Hurst also ran. We'll also say that all of those will return except for Maya Hobbs. So a young group. Congratulations to Maya on a great career. But good night overall, and congrats to our two state qualifiers.
Yeah, great evening for the girls. Great season for many of them, and good luck to, Sydney and Quinn moving forward. They're not going to have to throw uphill. Let's kind of put it that way. They were that little issue the other night throwing uphill, and maybe took a few inches or feet off of their
probably hurts the distance a little bit. But I think they're going to have pretty pristine conditions at Bloomington. That facility there is incredible.
I would think perfect is an understatement. On the boys track, Coach Branch, 5th place in Greenfield sectional. Regionals tonight. Or actually tomorrow night, Greenfield Central. And congratulations, junior Jack Roselle, sectional champion in the pole vault, 13.6 or 13 feet 6 inches. Great height for him, outstanding effort. Also advancing to the regional, Josh Lambden, runner-up in the discus, 147.11. And 4x8 team was runner-up, Danny Davis, Cody Cromer, Connor LaPenta, and Colin Darley with 8 minutes, 17 seconds.
Yeah, Jack, great job at saying. And the thing about he won the sectional at Greenfield Central, he's going to be at the same place tomorrow night with the regional. He and Sage Halter have kind of gone back and forth all year at the pole vault, and Sage also had a nice, I don't know, do you say jump on these? What do you say? I'm not sure what the term, vault. It's a vault, pole vault. Also had a nice vault, but just didn't quite advance. But great job by Jack Jr. He'll be back next year to try to defend that championship. So good luck to him tomorrow night at Greenfield Central, and Josh and the 4x8 team, hoping we can get someone to advance, or maybe the regional or the relay team to advance to the state finals the day after the girls, which will be Saturday, June 4th, also at IU.
Yeah, June 3rd, June 4th, state finals in track. So looking at those two programs, I mean, obviously Coach Myers, Coach Branch, and his staff, their staffs do an outstanding job of advancing our kids, and just it's nice to see the development from start to finish. They start, obviously in early February, or actually January, starting with the season, and then it just continues to build the indoor season. We had some success in the indoor season, and then we move outdoors. And shout out to our staff too, hosting a girls sectional for, first time in my career as athletic director, and yours as well.
Oh yes.
Miles Herkamp, Alpha Timing, just did an outstanding job of assisting us in making that event, and all our workers and volunteers. It takes a ton and to make a track meet run well.
You know, when we met with Miles leading up to that sectional, the amount of workers that we needed, it kind of blew my mind. We needed a lot of help, and between you and me and Miles, we got the help. So thanks to all of the volunteers who did help. And going back to the coaching staff, Coach Myers, Coach Branch, they've been together a long time doing this and cross country. And they've also added some pieces to the assistant coaching staff, you know, some former runners that have come back to coach. And I think that quality of coaching staff has really helped both programs, the boys and the girls. And now we're seeing some of that as they advance to the state. So, but yeah, the sectional, great night that we hosted.
And Coach Ralph, we have to give him some credit too, because two of his proteges, Quinn and Sydney, are both going to the state meet, and they've been a big part of his weight room program, and then also being able to move in that direction. All right, Unified Track, Coach Westerman completed her sectional on Saturday, and you know, it's just a wonderful group. 30 participants, you know, hosted 2 home meets. You know, we're really going to miss the organization in our home meets. We'll talk about that later. But it's just an awesome group of kids to work with.
It really is. I think they had over 30. They do every year. We have a great team every year. Fun to be with and watch them compete. For the Dragons, had a couple of home meets with Hamilton Heights and Mooresville. Also great meets and great teams there as well. Coaching staffs really do a great job on both sides there. Traveled to Delta. Not an official HHC meet, but kind of unofficial. I mean, we had Delta, Newcastle, Pendleton Heights, and the Dragons. That's a good meet. That one kind of travels around. We hosted it last year. Pendleton Heights hosted it the year before. So that's a neat one for them to compete in. And we also go to Fishers, who has a rather large team and always one of the better teams, I think, in the state.
One of the most welcoming we see.
Absolutely.
No question.
We love hosting them every other year as well. So great season by Coach Westerman, Coach Boehm. Do a fantastic job and all the help they get with that team.
Girls tennis, just Coach Graham reloaded with a bunch of young ones and just had an outstanding season, challenged for the sectional title. Lost a close match with Mount Vernon, who went on to win. You know, I think looking at the development of that group, I mean, they're now athletically equal to anybody that we play. I mean, all the girls are very athletic. They move well. They're competitive. That's the thing that I notice about the group that Jean has. They hate to lose.
They do.
And so you take that combination with being athletic, and then you know you can really advance that group quickly. And some of the girls aren't even like, you know, they don't play a lot of tennis, but they're athletic enough to be able to compete against kids who play a lot of tennis.
Yeah, great season for them. 13-8, finished third in the Hoosier Heritage Conference behind Delta and Mount Vernon. 5-2 there. Let's talk about Abby Blatchley for a minute.
Senior.
Great career by Abby. Been #1 player for numerous years. Unfortunate injury versus Delta. Ended her season and her career for the Dragons, but congrats to her on a great career. What that did was it moved Olivia Hasenkamp, who's a very good #2, into the #1 spot, where she was very competitive as well and got some wins. So nice job for her to move up to the #1 spot. Also at singles, Mia Knoop, freshman Caitlin Mitchell, and then Anna Luker. You talk about somebody who hasn't really played much previously. This was her first year. She picked up her racket and started playing some varsity. Doubles teams, Maddie Potter, Josephine Harvey, Lily Haberly, Bethany Blatchley. So bright future with Abby, the only senior who was competed in regular season matches and sectional, was all underclassmen.
They will miss Abby's leadership.
Absolutely.
And you know, her organization for fall workouts and winter workouts and keeping them together and her positive attitude, they're really gonna miss her. But hopefully she's kind of laid that groundwork for leadership, and it will continue to be spread moving forward. When we come back, we're going to continue talking about spring sports. Don't go away.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by Nine Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
We are back here on Dragon Dialogue talking spring sports with New Palestine Assistant Athletic Director, Mr. Jeff Wright. And, you know, moving to boys golf, and, you know, we didn't really talk a lot about this earlier in the first segment about how weather has affected our entire spring, but our golfers have played through some pretty nasty weather, like all of our spring sports have. But also, county champs, Braden Baker, county champ with a 35. Matt Berida, Landon Beatty, third, 39s. Led us to that championship in the county. Didn't fare as well in the HHC, shooting 339. I think Coach was a little disappointed in that. It was close, fifth.
It was close.
But, you know, golf's just one of those day-to-day things.
Sure, and in the HHC up at Yorktown at the Players Club, you know, it was bunched together there in the middle. I mean,
right.
We were not far away from third and not far away from seventh either. I mean, there was teams right there together. Braden Baker, as you said, county champ, also earning all HHC. He was fourth, shot a 77. Matthew Berida, eighth. Tied for eighth with an 81, so we did have 2 all HHC performers. You know, looking at their team scores throughout the year, they're low so far. For 9 is 155, a lot of 157s. For 18, they've had a 334, 339. You know, when you look ahead to the sectional, at Hawkstail at Greenfield Central,
home course,
our home course, their home course as well. You know, we're going to be bunched in there with some teams that that we had in the conference: Greenfield Central, Shelbyville, Mount Vernon. You know. If somebody can step up and put a low score, maybe besides our number 1 and 2, you know, that might be enough for us. Newcastle also in there, right? Probably the favorite, I would say. So, you know, what do you think it's going to take, not only to get out to the regional, but maybe to win that sectional?
It's going to take a good day. I mean, they're going to have to be very consistent with how they manage the course that particular day, and it is that day.
Right.
It's not like, you know, oh, you get a second chance, or, you know, it's first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. It is that day. How's the wind? Was there rain? Is it, you know, we played sectional golf in the rain. We played sectional golf in monsoon winds. I mean, who knows what the conditions will be, but it'll be the same for everyone. And so they're going to have to manage that. They're going to have to shoot, I think, somewhere in the 320s, possibly even low 320s to get out. Actually to win, and then in the 30s probably to get out, I would say. Now, on a given day, depending on the conditions, it could balloon up. So they're going to be right in the mix. And I think Coach just going to have to make the decision on who's going to play. We've got 6 or 7 that could blend themselves in there, and you know, then hopefully head back up on June the 9th, get out and play one of their favorite courses of the year at the Players Club.
Right. You know, you know, we beat Mount Vernon and County. We beat them in a duel. They beat us in the HHC. We've been very close, topping Greenfield Central. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going to take one score will be the difference. Maybe a putt here or there will be the difference. And who advances for that? And, as you said, going to the regional June 9th at the Players Club, which is one of the reasons why we play the HHC there every year.
Yep.
For that familiarity. So, hopefully we can get out and get to that regional on June 9th.
Softball. 23-3-1 on the year, 5-2 in the HHC, playing really well right now, kind of on an upswing, playing for a sectional championship against the number 1 team, Roncalli, who's kind of like, you know, up and down a little bit here lately, not swinging the bats as well as they did earlier in the year. Really looking forward to this matchup and the attention that it brings moving forward from a state standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, you say they're up and down at the same time. They're 28-0,
undefeated.
Right?
I get it.
But they have had some scores where it kind of raised some eyebrows, like they might be beatable, and they are beatable. Again, we're playing well right now. We've had a couple of close sectional scores, but so has Roncalli. When you get to sectional, you know, anything goes. So
right.
Survive and advance is the old term, and that's what we've done. So, you know, we're probably looking at Alexa Holman in the circle tonight. She's had a great year. Look at her numbers: 12-0, 2.20 ERA. Also, Katie Kotlowski. They've been, we've talked about this in previous shows, the two seniors here. Katie, 3.30 ERA, 6-3 record. As a team, batting average 359. Talking about some of the players in a strong lineup. University of Illinois commit Elena Miller leads us off, hitting almost 350. Allie Blums had a fantastic year, hitting about 380, 9 home runs. Aglaya Rudd, not only a great defensive catcher, but look at her offensive numbers. 500. We're not talking about the Indy 500. We're talking she's hitting 500 on the season.
6 home runs.
6 home runs. Katie Hershey over 400, 7 home runs as a freshman. Paige Ernstis hitting 440 some. Alexa Holman 500. So, and then Grace Paquette, Maddie Engel, Sydney Oliver, who had a huge play last night with a diving catch early in the game. So the lineup is there. We're going to have to be able to hit the Roncalli pitcher and get some runners on base and some timely hits to get some runs across.
Yeah. The good thing I think Coach Markham has this particular year, it's not just one girl in the circle. I mean, he's got kind of polar opposites in terms of that. Alexa Holman throws really, really hard. Katie does too, but she's got more of a mix of off-speed pitching and a little drop ball, moves it around, good curve. So those kind of put us in a good spot with combinations to keep hitters off balance. And that's what you're trying to do at this point in the year. Most people really anxious to get themselves out anyway. Speaking of that, baseball, Coach Lyons has outstanding year, 20-6 on the season, 11-3 in the HHC, runner-up by half game, or full game. Won 14 in a row during the season. Instant game classic with Center Grove, number 1 Center Grove, just less than a week ago, last Friday, in fact. Lost 8-7 in 8 innings. So bodes well for us, knowing that our kids can compete with anybody and the best in the state. So really looking at having a great opportunity to, advance this team, and hopefully they get some breaks and play well, and anything's possible. Got some great stats pitching wise, good balance there, hit throughout the lineup. So we're going to be a real challenge for people.
I think they're playing just where Coach Lyons wants them to be right now. You talked about 14 in a row. In any sport, that's a great winning streak. But baseball, as we know, on any given night, anything can happen. To win 14 in a row is amazing. Talking about the pitching, you have a very strong 1 and 2 that's helped us in the HHC, and beyond that as well. Maddox Maine, 6-1, 1.79 ERA, great senior season for him. Struck out 64 in 39 innings.
Yep.
Caleb Davis at number 2. 5-2, 2.41 ERA. Some other pitchers that fared well this year: Eli Bruns, Carter Stogsdill, Blaine Nunley, and look at some of the hitters in our lineup. Luke Legault, 4.49. Every time I watch a game, he goes 3 for 5, 4 for 5. Just hits the ball. Has hit 4 home runs. Aiden Stiller, the catcher, hitting 383. Stogsdill, 372. Maine's not only pitching well, hitting well, 388, 3 home runs. Wes Stiller, Davis, Nunley. So another very good lineup. It's going to come down to pitching. That's what baseball does. So we open up sectional play hopefully tonight
against Southport.
If you do advance to that, you've got either Roncalli or Perry Meridian, and then hopefully you can get to that sectional championship on Memorial Day.
Yeah. All right, boys volleyball. Really fortunate, actually, to be able to create a boys volleyball program, first year in its inception for New Palestine High School. It's been around. A lot of other schools have it, but for us, it is an emerging sport in the IHSAA. Coach Roan has kind of taken it and run with it, and she's just done an outstanding job of building that the right way.
Yeah, she came to us earlier in the school year and had a vision of starting the boys volleyball program, and as we talked to her, they were like, man, there's a lot that's going to go on for you to get this season rolling, and she's done a fantastic job with it. She really has. We've seen the players, how much fun they're having. They just enjoy their time on the court, how much they've improved throughout the season. It's been beyond what I thought they could do. They've just been fantastic. Racked up some wins early on, so good for them. I think she's got that program now where it's just going to keep getting better every year. So hats off to her for getting that going, and we're proud to have the boys volleyball program underway.
Absolutely, they've done an outstanding job. When we come back, we're going to talk to our assistant AD, Mr. Jeff Wright. Don't go away.
Carnegie's, a place to eat, is the place for exceptional dining in Greenfield. Enjoy our hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, herbs and vegetables straight from our gardens, prepared with a northern Italian flair. Chef Ian and his staff welcome you as our guests to enjoy fine wines, dinners, and ambiance. Carnegie's is the place for your special event with a private room that seats 100. Perfect for your next party, business meeting, or wedding reception. We are located in the historic Carnegie Library in downtown Greenfield. We'll see you at Carnegie's.
Welcome back to Dragon Dialogue. I'm Al Cooper, Athletic Director, New Palestine High School, and I'm talking with soon-to-be former Assistant Athletic Director, Mr. Jeff Wright. And this is a segment that I have not been looking forward to.
Oh boy.
You know, Jeff is getting ready to retire, and we're wish him all the best. And it's going to be a great thing for him. But you know, we came in together. Jeff and I did at the same time. 36 years ago.
A while ago, yes.
Yeah, 36 years ago, he and I were trained at the corporation level, and I had taught previously at Pendleton Heights for a couple of years and then came to New Palestine, where I'm from. And Jeff's a Greenfield Central grad and longtime resident of Greenfield area and moved to New Palestine. You know, I'm going to let you tell the story because I've heard it a couple of times, but tell us, you know, about basically your experience at New Palestine High School, how you came to get here, and then meeting your family and your wife and all that. So,
you know, when I was a senior at Purdue University, and we didn't have computers back then.
We'll talk a little slower for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I remember a class I had right before I started student teaching, where the professor came in with the trifold pamphlets. Remember those?
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore. And he said, there's a school called Southern Hancock that's looking for an elementary PE teacher. And I'm from Greenfield, so I know where that's at. And some of the others, like, I have no idea where that is. But so I took a pamphlet, filled out the application, mailed it in, so we had to do. There's no online stuff at that time. Got an interview, my one and only interview. They called me a few weeks later when I was student teaching. Actually, I called them every week because I never heard. I kept saying, "This is Jeff Wright. Please tell them I'm interested." Gene Pruitt, our old superintendent, called me, offered me the job, and that's where I've always wanted to be since that day. So, and that's how it started. And then I started at Brandywine Elementary, taught there for 14 years. I will have to say my all-time highlight is the start of my 4th year, as we hired a new teacher at Brandywine Elementary, and as things progressed, we began dating pretty soon. That school year, we were engaged, and we were married in July. So less than a year. That would be
Rochelle Spangler.
Rochelle Spangler. A year after meeting, we were married, and here we are, almost 32 years later. Rochelle was a Mount Vernon graduate, so also in Hancock County. But pretty soon, we quickly moved to New Palestine, made that our permanent home, raised Whitney and Brock there, both New Palestine graduates. So yeah. Just a great experience. Never wanted to be anywhere else. It quickly became our home. Loved the community, loved the schools. I'm biased, but to me, there's no better school system anywhere.
It's a good one.
I would say, I said that from day one. I'll say that today. So just a fantastic experience.
Well, talk to us about what your retirement is going to look like. I mean, I don't know if I'm letting anything. Can we talk about Rochelle?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, they're going to retire together.
Right.
I feel pretty certain about that. And so what's retirement look like for you and Rochelle?
Well, she's retiring from Greenfield Central Schools as well. She was based at Harris Elementary, but worked with teachers and students along the literacy lines there. So great career for her as well for 32 years. We are both decided to retire at the same time. We want to travel some. I think we have a trip planned to Alaska this summer.
Awesome.
We have a nephew based in Anchorage in the Air Force, Mitch Kleeman, Triton Central grad. We also have a granddaughter, a little over a year old, that we're going to watch a few days a week, which we will thoroughly enjoy doing that.
Absolutely.
And taking her places. So that is just whatever we want to do. I'm sure we like to travel south quite a bit. Florida, Cancun, been there many times, so I'm sure we'll revisit those places.
Beach
soon.
resorts.
Beach resorts,
yeah.
Exactly. So, and just go wherever we want to go and just take our time and figure it out as we go. But just looking forward to some downtime to start off with, and after that, who knows?
Yeah. What is it about your position as assistant athletic director at New Palestine High School that you are going to miss the most? What is
Wow.
it you're going to miss most?
I will miss a lot. I will tell you that I absolutely love this job. I've loved all my years, and I've told you this. These past 6 years have been my favorite years that I've taught or been in education, working in the athletic department. You know, that those day-to-day relationships. I'm going to miss seeing the students every day. They kind of keep you young. You know, they give
do.
you gray hair, but they also keep you young
Absolutely.
at the same time.
That's well
You know,
put.
that youthful exuberance they have.
Yeah.
I'll miss seeing them in the hallways and, you know, high-fiving kids and fist bumps and asking them how they're doing. But just the day-to-day relationships, working with you every day, we become good friends. I've got many close friends in the building. We'll still be close friends, but just that talking to them every day, them popping in my office, me going down to their office or their classroom just to say hi, that's going to be tough. You know, we're at the front of the athletic department, and we're very proud of the work we do. And
Yep.
you know, we talk about the commitment character class all the time. So, you know, I'll miss being a part of that as well. But you know, I'll still be around. I'll still
Right.
be at the games a lot. So, looking forward to that as a fan.
And you're going to stay connected as conference secretary,
correct.
And serve the HHC in that role for us
That-
for an entire year. That'll be fun.
That was something I really wanted to do. You know, we have some incredible ADs and assistant ADs in our conference,
Yep.
and I still wanted to be a part of that. And those are some great meetings we have monthly, and I still wanted to be a part of that. So glad to take on the secretary role for that in the coming years.
Yeah. Tell us about a couple of your greatest moments. What is the experience? What was one of your greatest experiences here as an assistant athletic director?
You know, when I look at something that, you know, a certain moment of time, I think you do have to look at the state championships. That's just something that I'll never forget. Those runs we made in softball and football. You know, we never said, oh, we know we're going to win, but we kind of had an inkling. We kind of had that feel as we got on those rolls in softball and football, like this could be our year.
Yeah.
And, you know, to get to Bittinger Stadium at Purdue and watch some state championships and win those, and then football getting to Lucas Oil Stadium and winning two
Those are great experiences.
5A back-to-back titles. Those were incredible experiences, and seeing our community come out and the support they gave, those were really cool. But again, I also talk about some of my favorite things have been every night, just watching our student athletes compete in something they love to do.
Yeah.
To wear the Dragon uniform, play, you know, to swim, to run, to play basketball, softball, whatever. Just that pride you have in watching them every night do what they love to do. That's pretty neat that we get to experience every single night across 20 plus sports.
Behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, that is a joy. There's
Sure.
no question that's one of the biggest joys for an athletic administrator. Is there anything that you are not going to enjoy?
Well, I better be careful here. No, you know, there's really not. I mean,
Your attitude, I wouldn't think there wouldn't be much.
We work with incredible people. We had an incredible secretary, Melissa Tillage. We have one now in Summer Parsons. We've been really fortunate that way. I love our administration. We have the best teaching staff in the world. I just love everybody we work with every day. You've been the best. When you invited me on to talk about this position and it took me on and mentored me, I couldn't have asked for a better situation. So, you know, there's some little tasks. Yeah, I won't mind not doing those anymore, and I won't mind sleeping in a little bit. But overall, it's just been the greatest. And you know, it's all good. And I'm going out. I feel like we're on top when I'm going out, and that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been an awesome experience. I'm looking forward to the next phase. But yeah, great memories, and I would not change one thing that I've had in my career.
I'm going to tell you, just from my standpoint, you know, I love you like a brother,
Right,
no question.
right.
And it's just,
Same.
I'm going to miss our day-to-day fun that we have
Absolutely.
in the office, the day-to-day friendship, even though it's still going to be there. It's not going to be, I won't see you every single
Sure.
day. But I also have to give you great kudos for being, and I've said this to many people, probably one of the best Southern Hancock employees we have ever had, and I don't know who else can even think about arguing with that. And we've had a couple other retirees too. I mean, you know, I will mention Darlene, who's
Right,
retiring the same
right.
time as you. Those
Yes.
are two good employees that we're losing at Southern Hancock that are going to be sorely missed. And I want to wish you the best,
Thank you.
man. And it's
Appreciate
been
it.
awesome.
It has been awesome.
And we will catch everyone next year for a new edition of Dragon Dialogue, and we will have Jeff right back at some point. I can promise you that. See you next time.